Most people over 60 believe that if they just stay healthy enough, stay independent enough, and avoid big mistakes, they'll never have to face life inside a nursing home. They believe it's a distant outcome, something that happens to other people later, maybe never. But what if that belief is dangerously incomplete? What if the truth about aging, independence, and dignity only becomes visible when freedom is suddenly limited? I'm 82, and after spending a full year inside a nursing home, I learned lessons no doctor, retirement planner, or wellness guru ever warned me about. The unsettling part is this: most people want to learn them until it's too late. Here's the first clue. According to U.S. health data, nearly 1.3 million Americans currently live in nursing homes, and over 60% of them believed, just 5 years earlier, that they never would. That gap between belief and reality is where the real story of aging begins. Something critical is missing from how we prepare for later life. To understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. The origins of this issue start in early adulthood. In our 20s and 30s, we're taught to measure success by speed, productivity, and self-reliance. American sociologists have documented how independence becomes a core identity trait, especially in post-war generations. The cause is cultural conditioning. The effect is that dependence later in life feels like failure instead of transition. That belief follows us silently for decades. Changes begin quietly in the 40s. Physical resilience declines just enough to be noticeable, but easy to dismiss. Small injuries linger. Sleep quality changes. Stress recovery slows. According to long-term U.S. aging studies, these changes don't feel dramatic, but they compound. The cause is biological aging. The effect is that habits stop matching the body's new needs. Yet few people adjust. Then comes the shift after 65 that most people ignore. Medical research from the National Institute on Aging shows that after 65, recovery from illness or injury takes nearly twice as long as it did at 45. One fall, one infection, one medication error can change everything. The cause is reduced physiological reserve. The effect is vulnerability that often goes unnoticed until it suddenly becomes visible. That moment is the breaking point. For many, it's a hospitalization. For others, it's a caregiver burnout event or a safety concern. In my case, it was a routine illness that didn't resolve. Within weeks, decisions were being made for me. The transition into a nursing home didn't feel dramatic. It felt administrative, and that's what made it terrifying. According to Medicare data, over 70% of nursing home admissions begin with temporary plans that quietly become permanent. The fallout affects every part of life. Health becomes reactive instead of proactive. Money drains faster than expected. U.S. surveys show the average private nursing home costs over $100,000 per year. Lifestyle shrinks to scheduled meals and shared spaces. But the deepest impact is psychological. Identity erodes. You're no longer known for who you were, only for what assistance you need. Most seniors try failed fixes because of old advice. Just stay positive. Be grateful. Don't complain. These ideas sound noble, but ignore the emotional reality of loss of autonomy. Research in geriatric psychology shows suppressed emotion increases depression and cognitive decline. The cause is emotional invalidation. The effect is silent suffering. Now, here's what the nursing home actually taught me: the 7 life-changing lessons most people never hear. The first lesson is that dignity is fragile but defendable. Small choices matter more than big freedoms. Choosing your clothes, your routines, your tone of voice, these preserve identity when control is limited. The second lesson is that physical decline accelerates with passivity. Data from U.S. nursing facilities shows residents who move daily even minimally retain function longer. Waiting for help too often teaches the body to surrender. The third lesson is that loneliness exists even in crowded rooms. Social connection, in proximity, its recognition. Those who actively formed micro-connections aged better emotionally. The fourth lesson is that advocacy is survival. Residents who asked questions, spoke up, and involved family had better outcomes. Silence was not peace, it was risk. The fifth lesson is that aging isn't fair, but preparation changes outcomes. People who plan legally, financially, and medically before 70 experience less chaos later. The cause is foresight, the effect is control, even within limits. The sixth lesson is that staff burnout affects resident health. This isn't blame, it's reality. Facilities with higher staff to resident ratios show lower mortality rates. Understanding the system helps you navigate it. The seventh lesson is the most painful and the most freeing. Aging strips illusions, not worth. When roles disappear, essence remains. Those who embrace that truth aged with more peace. Link this to today. Millions of Americans are aging into a system that hasn't caught up with longevity. The pattern repeats across states, income levels, and families. Those who adapt earlier suffer less later. Here are 3 direct actions people over 60 can apply today. First, document your wishes clearly: medical, financial, and personal, and review them yearly. Second, maintain daily movement, no matter how small. Third, practice asking for help now, before crisis makes it unavoidable. Here's the clear warning based on evidence. Waiting until decline forces decisions removes your voice from them. And here's the open thought to sit with. If independence eventually changes form, how do you want dignity to look when it does? If this story made you think differently about aging, please like and share it with someone you care about. And subscribe now, because in the next chapter, we'll reveal what most families only learn after the first irreversible decision is already made.